I was 22 when I met him, Hunter. We matched on a dating app, and for a moment, it felt like something was finally clicking. Over the span of just over a month, we went on 4 dates. For moments that slowly peeled back the layers of someone I wasn't sure I really knew. Our first date was brief. A simple coffee meetup, barely an hour. It felt more like an audition, me quietly assessing if it was normal, if there was something there. Nothing alarming, just ordinary. Date 2 was at a nearby bar. Drinks were flowing, and we both slipped into a buzz that made everything feel lighter, easier. We laughed, we shared stories. And for a little while, I let myself believe this might be something real. Then came dinner, our third date, and that's when the curtain began to lift. Somewhere between the entrees and the small talk, I started questioning everything. Was there a real connection here? Or was I just ignoring the gnawing feeling in my gut? There was something about him, subtle but off. I couldn't place it. Still, the date ended with a kiss. The first and the only. I tried to convince myself it meant something, that things were still okay, but they weren't. As we were walking to our cars, the night chill settling around us, he suddenly stopped and turned to me, his eyes locked onto mine. "Can we go back to your place?" he asked bluntly, like it was owed. Caught off guard, I forced a small smile. "Not tonight. I'm tired and I've got work tomorrow." That was a lie, but something told me I needed a reason, any reason, to not go home with him. He didn't take the hint. "I'll drag you to work myself tomorrow," he said, trying to sound playful, but it didn't land. Drunk or not, his persistence felt unnerving and ridiculous. There was something off about the way he said it, like a joke hiding a threat. I also couldn't ignore the fact that he was about to drive himself home, completely intoxicated. That alone made me feel sick. That night, as I walked away, I made a decision. I wasn't going to see him again. I got into my car, parked across the street, and started driving, slowly. I wasn't drunk, but I was cautious, hyper-aware. My eyes scanned every car, every mirror. At first, I thought it was just nerves, but then I noticed it. The same car behind me. One turn, still there. 2 more turns, still there. A red light. I glanced in my rearview mirror, and my stomach dropped. It looked like his car. I grabbed my phone and texted, "Are you following me?" He replied almost instantly, "Yes. I just want to make sure you get home safe." I called him. He didn't pick up. Of course he didn't. My hands were shaking. This wasn't sweet. This was creepy, disturbing, wrong. I pulled over, heart racing, and sent another text. "Please stop following me. I'm fine." His car stopped in the middle of the street, like he was reading my message. Then, slowly, he drove off. He didn't reply. Not right away. I made it home and crawled into bed, shaken. That's when the message came. "Hope I didn't weird you out. Sorry I got so drunk. Next time let's do something low-key. Dinner at my place or something." I didn't respond. The next morning, another message. "Oh no, is the vibe dead?" Still, I didn't answer. Not even 2 hours later, another message. At that point, I knew I had to shut it down before it escalated. I replied, "Hey, I had a great time getting to know you, but I don't think our personalities click. I just really want to focus on myself right now. I hope you understand." That's when the tone shifted. The anger came fast, sharp, entitled, and full of venom. "No, I don't understand. You strung me along for 4 dates to say that? How about you pay me back for half of everything I bought you?" And then it got worse. Texts that included personal things I told him in confidence, twisted, weaponized. I won't repeat them here. They were enough to make my skin crawl. I blocked him. I told myself it was over. It wasn't. The no-caller ID calls started almost immediately, over and over. I didn't pick up once. Eventually, he stopped, or so I thought. The next day, I came home from work. My parents weren't home, and there it was, a bouquet of flowers sitting on the front step, with a card with his handwriting. "I'm sorry. Please give me another chance." He knew where I lived. My chest tightened. My head spun. How? I never told him. Not once. In his head, This must have felt romantic, some twisted act of devotion. But to me, it was terrifying. I sent him one final message, long, clear, and firm. Do not contact me again. Never come to my house. If you do, I'll file for restraining order. I kept his number blocked. Whatever he said after that, I didn't want to know. I thought it was over. I was wrong. It was shortly after that, on a night I was home alone, when things took an even darker turn. My parents' house was big, and my bedroom was located in the loft, the highest point of the house. One night, I woke up in the middle of the night, unsure of what I was hearing. It took a moment, but I realized there were noises coming from downstairs. I tried to listen more carefully, and then I distinctly heard a door opening from somewhere outside my room, one of the upstairs doors. No one was supposed to be home that night. Even groggy from just waking up, I immediately thought it was an intruder. I crawled out of bed, dropped to the floor, and quickly hid under the bed. I texted my family asking if anyone was home. As I waited, I could hear noises coming from other parts of the house, possibly another bedroom. Then my bedroom door opened, and I heard footsteps slowly walking up the carpeted stairs. When the steps reached the top, the house fell silent. I couldn't hear any more movement. Then I heard drawers next to my bed being opened. I pressed my hand over my mouth to control my breathing, my heart racing. Suddenly, I heard a man's voice mutter, "God damn it." For a split second, I thought it sounded like Hunter's voice, but I still didn't move. I hoped that my phone wouldn't get any notifications. The rummaging continued. The person was going through my entire dresser. Then I felt the bed shift as if someone had sat down. Through the bed skirt, I saw the outline of two shoes. Even in the dark, I could make out the figure. I didn't know what he was doing on my bed, but he stayed there for a few minutes before getting up and muttering, "Fucking hell." I heard all the drawers close, followed by footsteps walking back down the stairs, the doors shutting, and then the sound of someone walking into the living room. I immediately called 911, whispering to be cautious. I stayed under bed, remaining on the line with the operator for another 10 to 15 minutes, until a police officer finally arrived. I went down to meet him at the door, but even then, I felt tense. After letting him in, I explained everything to him. He conducted a sweep of the house, and soon after, another officer, a woman, joined him in the search. It turned out that all the windows were unlocked, including one in the dining room that was large enough for someone to crawl through. They speculated that the intruder must have squeezed through the bush outside the window to get inside. I gave my statement, and they gave me a report number before leaving. The next day, when my parents came home, they already knew everything from my texts and phone calls. We went to the police station where I provided screenshots of texts, including one where he admitted to following me home. The police said they would investigate, but without concrete proof that it was him inside the house, the case became difficult to pursue. Despite that, I was able to get a restraining order against him, and I was advised to avoid contacting him again or accusing him of breaking in. Thankfully, he didn't reach out, but the fear didn't disappear. I was always uneasy in the house. Even after the police investigation, he had been creeping around outside, and even today, I sometimes worry he might figure out where I am now.